And about with Fred, I'm about to do something I know that I'll regret. He'll refuse to drop the belts, but as my heart begins to melt, talking Montreal screw job. Won't put me with Taker, I'll go through heaven and hell. I revolutionized the ladder, I was the first one in the cell. But after a while, I'll lose my smile, but at least I'll be the champion. Oh, sometimes I feel that we're getting a raw deal. Oh, Hebner's full of crap. We all know he didn't tap, but it wasn't in the plan. He made me an Iron Man. I'm about to see the birth of fucking Mr. McMahon. Well, me and Janetti, we were rockers from the start. I'm in the clique with Hall and Nash, but I'm the one that broke the hearts. I've got some regrets. Suck it with DX. Call me the showstopper. Oh yeah, well, after a while, I'll lose my smile. Talking Montreal screw job.
All right. There we go. I don't think that's too quiet. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am the standing streamer, and this is, well, it's my show, first of all. Happy Friday. But on tonight's Friday wrestling show, it's another episode of Putting You Over. And tonight on Putting You Over, we are going to have Rampage Rumble. The game, Rampage Rumble, a wrestling card game. And I don't know if that's loud for you guys, but it's freaking loud for me. Gotta turn it down just a little more. And for those of you just tuning in, whether you're tuning in live or you're catching it on a replay somewhere along the line, Putting you over is kind of like an interview show with a wrestling gimmick. Very laid back, cool, relax. We're gonna talk to people that I enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy as well. The likes of Smack Talk Showdown, right there. People like Kyle Lewis, Brian Zane. We got people lined up, such as Brian Pillman, and whatnot. But it should be fun, and I hope I can put a smile on someone's face tonight. We had a lot of wrestling this weekend. Ton of wrestling this weekend. You got Ring of Honor and Best in the World, which I'm watching right here. And they just broke some pretty interesting news that I didn't know about. Eli Drake showed up tonight. That's pretty interesting. But we have Fighter Fest, AEW, and well, that's happening this. Anyways, so normally before I do these shows, I like to pull in the guest. I like to pull him in. I'll either pull him in on Skype or I'll pull him in on Discord, and I'll go over the the rules. I'll go over how it goes, which is very laid back, and basically it works out like this. I'd be like, hey, I want to make sure I got the camera set, the audio set. We're good to go. Okay, I'm gonna open the show. We're gonna start off with some music, and then I'm gonna talk for a little bit, and then I'm gonna call you in. Okay, and I do that every time. Sometimes we have a great transition. Sometimes we have no transition. Sometimes Brian Pillman stands you up for the first time. Okay, but this time I called Rampage Rumble the game. I didn't get an answer. It's okay. Don't worry, everybody. I called again. Still didn't get an answer. Don't worry. It's still okay. They did contact me. They are ready. They're sitting in the wing in the green room. Right, the green room. And we're going to get them on here shortly. Now, I also have... I have that Pro Wrestling Crate box. Pro Wrestling Crate box, but it's a crate. Have it right there. The question is, do we open that crate box now or after the interview? Thought I saw. Not quite sure. Let's pull in the guys from Rampage Rumble and see what they have to say. Like, hey guys, ring! Do you want us to open this box now or after your interview? But no, just kidding. We are going to get these guys in here now, I guess. Let's see how this works. I take my glasses off so I can see exactly what I'm doing, as I also watch Best in the World. All right, give me a second here. Everybody just bear with me. Okay? Here. See if we can get them here. Get them on the line. 1-888 69 standing streamer. We are going to get. I don't hear anything. Don't I normally hear a call? Ring. There.
Hello.
Whoa! Holy moly! Hello.
Hey.
Oh, good. You can hear me. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. All right, perfect. All right, wait. Talking to myself. Don't worry about it. Do you have a camera?
I'm on my phone.
You're on your phone. Okay, that's fine. No, we can go without a camera. It's okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. No, we can go without it. It's all right. It's too hard to work Discord and the phone and the I don't even know if you can work the camera on Discord.
Oh.
But that's okay. It would be way too difficult for you. I was just asking because the overlay and whatnot, I want to be perfect. So let me let me fine tune some things here on the fly. How are you doing, by the way? What's your name, by the way? I call you Rampage.
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam from
Adam.
Rampage Rumble. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Just give me. Oh, you know what we'll do? Flip your web. Anyways, I was just saying as I started the show here that normally before every show I call people, I pull them in, and hold on. What are you, sick?
No, no, I got allergies.
Oh, nobody likes allergies.
I got allergies. No, I'm bored of them. They're getting old.
Trust me, I understand completely. All right, Rampage Rumble again. Here is. All right, excellent. So as I was saying before, when I started the show here, normally I pull everyone in, pull whoever I'm gonna have on the show in. Like, look, I'm gonna get you in the Discord. Let's get the camera set, the audio set, and and then we're good to go. Then I'll go live. I'll play a little intro music. I'll do a little small intro to the show, and then I'll pull you in. And I'm like, sometimes it goes smooth. I've had a lot of great smooth transitions. Sometimes I've had some really rough transitions. Sometimes Brian Pillman stood me up one day, and I didn't find out till after he was in the air on his way to England for some tournament, and he just forgot to tell me, which is okay. But in your case, you didn't answer the phone or the Discord. Well, technically, it is your phone. You didn't. No, it's okay. It's fine. It's completely fine.
Sorry.
I don't take it personally at all. And but you got back to me, and that's so cool because some people they don't get back to you. Like they might wait until everything has passed. Like they'll wait, maybe the show has passed, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, man, I forgot," or "Oh, my phone didn't work." I just like honesty. I like the fact that you responded, said sorry. I'm at my Discord now, and that's great. So, anyways,
well, thank you.
Yes,
thanks for waiting. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna put on a show either way. I would have interviewed Rampage Rumble by myself. It would have been fine. I would have handled something. I'm watching. I don't know how big of a wrestling fan you are. How big of a wrestling fan are you?
Pretty big. I mean, I've been watching my whole life. I don't know how to measure it, but I'd like to think I'm about as big as you can get in fandom.
It is something you can't actually measure, and it's kind of a dumb question that me ask. I'm 39 years old. I've been watching wrestling for as long as I can remember. There was a time maybe I stepped away for a little bit, but you can always step away from wrestling and then just slide right back in and be like, "Hey, I haven't missed a beat." So, but the reason I ask is because I'm watching Best in the World tonight, the Ring of Honor paper, and Eli Drake, formerly from Impact Wrestling, showed up tonight. Yes, he's either with Ring of Honor or he's with NWA. I couldn't quite make it out because I had the sound down, but anyways, so you've been watching wrestling for as long as you can remember. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I don't mind. I'm 41, so I'm pretty close to you.
There you go. So I'm thinking like WWF, probably 80s. Like, I mean, Christ, that's from the beginning. WrestleMania 1, I would assume.
Well, let's see. I remember the first wrestling I remember was WrestleMania 3. I think a friend of a family's got it on pay-per-view.
That was a good one.
And
everyone got around the couch, ordered pizza, got those 2-liter bottles of Pepsi.
Yeah.
Let's watch Adrian Adonis versus Piper.
That was crazy. In fact, I watched it just 2 nights ago again with my son. I got an 8-year-old boy.
Nice.
And watched it again. And I'm like, dude, this is the best. This is the best wrestle. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I'm old, but I thought it was the best wrestle.
It it truly was one of the best. And I have an 11-year-old daughter. I think we might have lost him. We may have lost Adam. He was just about to
No,
tell. Oh, he's there. It sounds
no,
like
I'm
you're
here.
gone. I have three daughters. One's 11. No, holy shit. One is not 11. One is 10. One is 10. One is 6, and one is 2. And
Oh, wow.
well, besides the 2-year-old, but the other two are really into wrestling, and I haven't really shown them any past pay-per-views.
Mm.
They're big into the women's wrestling. They watch that. They understand they understand the psychology of wrestling. Like I explained to them heels, I explained to them faces. I don't know about your son, but mine understand that it's an art form, and they understand because they were first very very concerned, like why is that girl kicking that other girl in the face
Right,
inside the
right.
cage. And
Yeah.
when my daughters come to me and say, "Dad, why did that girl just kick that other girl in the face?" My heart says, "Well, obviously because last week on Raw she did this." But
Yeah.
no, I explain to them it's I explain to them wrestling, and
Mm.
so they get the psychology, and they love it. One of them actually wants to. They both want to be wrestlers. The older one's a
Oh,
little
that's
more.
cool.
We practice moves all the time, just like I'm sure you do moves on your son.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one of my daughters is very stiff, so she's gonna probably end up in Japan. The other really knows how to sell, so she's on the right track in some senses.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but it's so yeah, so we got that going for us. It's great. It's fun to sit down with them, watch, even if you go into the past or watch certain things now. It's just a good way to relate and get
Yeah.
involved. But I that's just me. So it was I
Well, explaining to my son, because I had the same thing when he was, curious about how someone could get hit in the head so many, or hit, or with a table or a chair,
yeah.
and and I know a lot of wrestlers are really defensive about this whole idea of like, it being fake or
Right.
calling it fake.
Yeah.
But and so I wanted to be like, like it's not fake, like it's definitely a planned thing, right? And these guys are professionals and they know how to handle it. And and it's the same on the other end. Is like it's not like a movie, right? It's not totally scripted out where they get to do it 100 times and try, like it's kind of a one shot deal, especially when you have like a live event.
Right.
So try to help him kind of understand, like, it's almost like a circus, like a live performance. You go and you see, and sometimes they fall, or sometimes they don't. Sometimes someone gets cut open. So he's starting to figure it out. He's not troubled by it anymore, which is nice.
Oh, mine were. I think I remember they watched the first Mae Young Classic. I think yeah, there was two. So they watched the first one, and like the first match, they come down. And I'm explaining to them, well, this girl's a heel. What's a heel, Dad? Heel. Nobody likes a heel.
Hmm.
Nah, the face comes down. Oh, this is a face.
Right.
This is a good girl. This is a bad girl. Oh, the good guy, bad guy, hero, villain. And they
Hmm.
get then the match starts, and like somebody runs across the ring and hits him with a boot to the face, knocks him down, and then Dad, what's going on there? So, so I did explain to them, I broke that facade down. The Santa
Hmm.
facade will have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not gonna
Well,
touch.
one step at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time, right? They don't want to break their hearts that Hogan actually didn't slam Andre for the first time at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And then he's poor. He's super poor.
but oh yeah, so that's great. That's awesome. It's just it's good. I like to hear that. I like to hear stories of people with their kids. Which
Yeah, I don't know
uh,
how my like my parents, back when I watched. Can you hear me all right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Back when I would watch as a kid, they had no explanation. They were kind of like, at first they were like, "What? how is this happening? And so, you know, as a kid, I had to like, once I kind of figured it out, I had to explain it to him. And that was a interesting thing to do for a kid to be
Explaining
teaching.
things to their parents.
Yeah, because you know, in the early '80s, it was really when it hit the mainstream, and so there was really no prior reference. Whereas you and I grew up with it,
Right.
so it's always been a thing. It's always been in our culture.
Like
So
I don't remember, like I remember watching wrestling with my parents, and I don't ever remember my dad mostly. I don't ever remember like them explaining anything to me of how anything could happen. Um I know my mom probably, although we've never had this conversation, I'm probably sure she knew from the get-go what it was. I mean, she doesn't even believe the NBA is real. She believes the NBA
right,
playoffs, they always go 7 games. MLB, it's going 7 games. People want to make the money. Hockey,
yeah,
7 games. They're going to lose this game because it's got to send it 7. That's how it is. And she's probably right in the
yeah,
grand scheme of things.
yeah.
Um,
But at least wrestling owns that, right? Like
yeah,
we're
exactly.
all in on it.
We're up front. That's right. Everyone's in
Yeah,
on it. Just don't break kayfabe. Just
yeah,
don't do it.
exactly. Yeah.
Um, that's great. So, as far as your game here, we'll jump back and forth. Like I said, it's kind of a laid back show. I bullet point things out sometimes, but my ADHD and stuff gets to me, so sometimes I jump around.
Hmm.
But I stumbled upon you in is it just you, Rampage Rumble? Or
No, it's me and my partner Drew, good friends for years and
nice.
neighbors, and yeah, we're doing this the two of us. Though.
Perfect. So you guys, how does it's a card game. So how do you guys what's Drew's wrestling fan?
None.
Oh my
No,
god.
yeah.
So what That's great. That's perfect. That's the perfect response. And what does Drew think of wrestling? He doesn't.
He does. He's a gamer. Like he's a programmer. He's a total he's a geek.
Yeah,
So
hey.
he plays a lot of games. So his contribution really was the mechanics of the game and making it work. And that kind of, if you want to hear the backstory, that's kind of how it all came
I
together.
would love to hear the babackstory.
But that seemed like a good segue, right?
Yeah, that was perfect.
The,
Well done. Way
the,
to run my show for me. Thank you. Go ahead.
well, he so with my son, I got 3 kids. But with my middle son, 8 years old, he kind of stumbled across a deck of old wrestling cards like WWF. Like there was like a Bad News Brown and Bushwhacker. There's like a Mr. These are just trading cards that they came out with back in the '80s. And I had a ton of them, and he kind of was looking through an old box of mine and found them and was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, dude." So immediately, from that, I was like, you jump on YouTube, and I was just showing him all sorts of stuff, and that's actually kind of like maybe what you'd experienced when I had actually taken a little break from wrestling. I wasn't really around in the late '90s, early 2000s wrestling. I know about it now because you have the
Right.
WWE Network, or I knew what happened with WCW and all that stuff, but he, kind of introducing him to it, and he just caught on and got super excited about it. And I'm an artist. I've always been an artist. That's kind of my connection to wrestling was just watching it, and I'd sit and draw, or I'd play with like GI Joes, and they'd be different wrestlers, as I'd watch like Saturday Night's Main Event at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night. But so I would, I started showing him these guys, wrestling guys, and then one day I was just doodling, and I was like, dude, check out this little wrestler guy. I made him up, just a fake, good guy, like a kind of a lucha guy, and he named him, and I was like, dude, let's draw another one. And then like, before we knew it, we had drawn like 20 wrestlers. Like he kind of would guide me through it, and be like, well, let's call him this, and then he'd say, give him blue pants, or he just kind of described. And for me, a lot of what I loved about wrestling was just the characters. That was, I think that in the '80s, I mean, that was so the character part of it was so beefed up, right? It was just
Yes.
crazy, like, I mean, just crazy, right? Crazy characters that they would come up with. I'm just
The
shocked that.
characters sold the merchandise. That's what it
Oh
was.
yeah,
That
it
was the
made
whole
it
thing.
fun. It made the storytelling work, I think, and some of them are weird, like why a barber that looks like a stripper. I don't know, but it
It
worked,
worked.
and
He's
I
a
was
Hall of Famer. Let's go.
yeah, I was a huge fan. I loved Bruce. I had posters and toys, but so we started drawing all these guys, and that was like 2 years ago, and then just kind of every once in a while we just kind of hang out. I'm an illustrator by trade, like I do children's books. That's my job. And so I draw all the time, and I don't ever get bored of it. So we just sit on my computer and draw. And then about 2 years after we started our first one, we had about 200 wrestlers we'd drawn, and we'd given we'd named the federation and made up referees and managers, and so we had a whole kind of our own little universe
You had
of
a whole E-Fed.
yeah, yep, exactly. And so it was fun to kind of establish. And then I got nieces and nephews involved. I'd be like, hey, come up with like 3 wrestler guys, and I'll draw them for you. And so it kind of became a thing. And like I said, we've got about 200 of them to date. So anyway, as I'm sitting home one day drawing with them, my buddy, my partner, Drew, he came to the house and we were chit chatting. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I showed him, like I came out of the closet as a wrestling fan, kind of jarred him a little bit. But as he was looking at the stuff, he was like, "What are you doing with all this stuff?" I'm like, "I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to it'd be a sweet video game, or maybe like a card game, or some kind of maybe like trading cards or something." And he's like, "Okay, give me like give me 48 hours, and I'll come back with an idea." So,
I need
for the
friends like
next
that.
well, he's a super creative guy, right? So
Yeah.
in approximately 24 hours, he shows back up and says, "So here's what I'm thinking," and he kind of did this whole like each wrestler will have stats and the strength stat and agility stat, a skill stat, and then you have all these action cards like body slam and shoulder slam and all these different moves, right? And then you play an action or attack card, and you can it's the value of its attack is based on the stat of that particular wrestler. So if you hit him with a body slam, that's a strength, and it hits him for 5 or whatever his stat is, right? And then you can defend yourself with cards, and it kind of uses those same stats, and you can play, your signature move or your special move, and that's like 2 times whatever your highest stat is. So he kind of like flushed out this little thing. So we kind of printed it on my home printer and just played a little quick set of it, and it was fun. We were like, that's kind of where it began, and then it just kind of kept evolving and to the point where we're at now, which is probably a month or so away from launching our Kickstarter to try to get it funded. But I don't mean to skip ahead, but
No, it's
that's
fine.
that's essentially how it got started, and here we are. That was like 2, maybe 3 months ago, so it's all pretty fresh and new. We just hit it hard and got really excited about it and
Yeah.
started pushing it.
It's it's interesting because when you said your friend Drew was a programmer, I'm like, oh wait a minute, is this like one of those digital card games? Like,
No, but
and then when
hope
you
maybe,
well maybe
yeah,
you
maybe
could. I mean, you
someday,
probably
yeah,
could make like a tabletop simulator. But then
yeah,
as you explained it, I thought to myself, oh man, it's like one of those regular card games.
yeah,
Anything like Stratomatic base. I don't know. I'm gonna say Stratomatic base. Nobody's gonna know what that means. But
uh,
like a card game,
yeah,
and you went through it. But that's just amazing that it started off. You were just doodling, taking your passion of drawing, illustration and wrestling, and then drawing wrestlers. You must have been the greatest uncle at Thanksgivings.
I
Yeah,
mean,
here's Uncle
I
Adam.
always,
Yeah,
yeah, I always tell him that, but I don't know if it's true. Trying to be right.
just stand by that.
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
well, too. What's funny too is because he's a programmer, he uh, when he developed the game, like of course it's important that in any game, right, like that you can't be overpowered or underpowered.
Right.
It's got to be balanced. It's got to work. And so what
Yep.
he did was he wrote like a JavaScript simulator
Yep.
uh, and simulated the whole game and ran like thousands of different scenarios just to make sure the game was balanced, so it was fair. So we've got a little tech on our side that helps
Well,
make sure the game really works. That's kind of fun.
That is fun, and it's funny. I mean, I stumbled upon you guys through Instagram. You guys don't have a Twitter, right?
No, we should though,
You
right?
should. I would. Well, it's fun. I mean, I would just because I like I like Twitter. I'm starting to get into Instagram a little more. I don't really know how it works. So I'm a Twitter guy, but I do know people that are totally Instagram. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Personally, if it was me, if I had a business or a game like that, I probably would do both. Um,
Yeah, I should. I think you're absolutely right.
but anyway, so I stumbled upon you guys through Instagram, through the Smack Talk Showdown guys, and they're another. It's like a wrestling card game.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've talked with them or have any knowledge of them, but it's like a cut and promo game. You go head to head and somebody else, and there's a ref, and you draw cards, and you get scenarios of a certain wrestler you are, and you're gonna cut this promo. And I ran into those guys at PAX something or other, and I ran into them, and wow, that's so awesome. And I was like, I want to do this interview show. I want to talk about it, and that's how I got started. Well, anyways,
Hmm.
long story short, on Instagram, they liked one of your pictures of your wrestlers, or they shared it, or something or other. But it showed up on my feed, and I was like, Rampage Rumble. So I clicked, and I'm like, interesting. SmackDown, SmackDown guys are behind them. Let me see what this is. So I followed you guys, and then I just kept watching all the characters come out. So you got like the Bronx Brawler. I think that always do some of these guys stem from real life wrestlers. I mean, they have to. The Bronx Brawler
Yeah,
is Bad News Brown.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Well, yeah. Oh, totally. Well, he initially was called the Ghetto Blaster, but then we got some feedback
Backlash.
saying
Yeah.
that that probably wasn't a good thing to call him. But yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, it's if not a direct like knockoff of Batman's Brand. I hope we don't get in trouble for that one.
Uh, no. You know why I don't think you'll get in trouble for that one? I'll tell you why. Because I believe Bad News Brown had one black glove,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I think yours has two. Yours has two. You
And
should be
he's
good.
got, and my guy's got like a chin strap beard thing as opposed. I think he had a full beard. So, and I
You,
think he had a little bit. I think Batman's Brand had a little bit bigger gut than my guy did.
yeah, you may get in trouble for crop duster Carl.
Yeah. Hello,
Um,
Jim.
I like Bone Crusher since La Parka is one of my favorite wrestlers.
Mhm.
But so yeah, so I start seeing all these guys pop up, and I'm like, okay, no matter what they're coming out with, I like what I'm seeing with these wrestlers. And
Mhm.
then I read a little more into it. It's a card game. I'm like, I have to find out more. I have to learn. I have to learn what this is. I have to get this card game in my arsenal.
Mhm.
And well, then that's what led us to here. This phenomenal interview.
Well, I'm glad we're talking. I'm glad you found me. We're still kind of like
But you're
we're
right.
still
You guys just like came out of nowhere.
yeah, feel really young. Not me, but the what we're doing
Yeah,
here.
yeah. No, I agree.
Hoping it's one of those things where you think like I get excited about. You probably go this. You get excited about your own ideas,
Yep.
and then you just then real world hits you. You're like, oh man, I'm people don't like my ideas. But in this case, we know we've game tested the game, and really with non wrestling fans, like I find myself sitting there feeling like you know the wrestling nerd among you know people who have never really watched it, but might know that Hulk Hogan or The Rock or
Right.
whatever. And so I'm always kind of playing the nerd card of like, I don't know. Well, technically, like, well, you can't play that move because he's and they're
They look at
they
you
don't
like,
they
what are you
don't
talking about?
yeah, you're nuts, man.
I'm gonna play a
But it's
counter here, whether you like it or not.
yeah, you're like he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. But so yeah, so it's but all the testing we've done, I'm grateful to say we've tested it quite a bit. We've had nothing but good feedback. So it seems to be universally liked. Um, the theme I think is like it's a little popcorn, right? It's a little,
Right.
it's a more, probably leans more 80s wrestling than it does,
Yep.
today. Because it's kind of tongue in cheek and
But it's got an
it's
Adult
silly.
Swim cartoon style.
Okay, good.
Like I could
That's
see this could be a show. Like I could see this. Like I look at Bone Crusher. When I see Bone Crusher, my first reaction is, well, that's an Adult Swim wrestler on a show right
yeah,
there. Boom.
right.
I can
I
see him
mean,
picking up
that
his
would
little
be
little Bone Crusher at school. How was your day, man?
yeah,
You know.
perfect. Totally. Well,
So
that would be a dream come true. I mean, I can't imagine it getting any better than that.
I mean, could you imagine?
No, in fact, as an illustrator, I've actually worked with Adult Swim, and I've considered. Well, now you've got my maybe I should go talk to him.
Yeah,
See if we
maybe
can
you
work
should.
Yeah,
You
that'd be
should
fun.
Rampage.
The series, right?
Rumble the series.
Oh,
They're
it's
all
like
they're all former '80s wrestlers. Like
yeah,
let's see, TKO. They're all their kids are in the same school.
right. Perfect. I think you're
so,
on to something.
so then,
Okay.
so then, like you see them at PTA meetings or the
Yeah, and then they
dances.
fight, and a fight breaks out.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like the Bronx Brawlers kid. He's like the smartest kid in the class,
yeah,
and he's always getting picked on and beaten up, and like
yeah.
I think you know what?
Oh, I love it.
Great.
I think you're on to something.
I might be onto something.
You'll be seeing some royalty check there.
Yeah, they'll roll in. Um. Oh, see, it's like that. Now I forgot where I was going. Let's see. We were talking about the game. You tested it. It's a card game. Pack. Oh, your Kickstarter. So you guys have not started your Kickstarter yet.
No, no, not yet. No, just trying to get. I mean, the idea would be that we kind of get a nice following and people who are interested and
Right.
kind of on board with the brand and the idea. But yeah, we're thinking. Well, it's going to happen in about a month and a half, so we haven't exactly landed on a specific date, but it's going to be in August most likely. So yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's a good. I think Kickstarter is a great way. I was watching your episode of with the oh man, I just spaced the name, the arcade game style, the retro
Oh yeah.
uh,
Yep.
mania.
The wrestling arcade.
Yeah, well, the one you just I don't know when it was, but it was the anyway. But you guys were talking about Kickstarter and the option of getting funding from it, and I think it's a little less about funding and more about getting an audience and the people behind you and getting them excited about it because we've already got expansion packs. And like I said, we've got a bunch of additional wrestlers. I'd love to see these become collectible, like trading card types. Like, oh, I got Brock's Brawler. Like, but oh, I don't have him. We don't do a trade, and I got a double of this guy. I was a big card collector as a kid, and so I
Exclusive
think it'd be
cards.
yeah, but yeah, like a gold card, like you get one with a different outfit. I collected those, so they kind of get my nostalgic feelers going. But so yeah, so Kickstarter, I'm excited. So I'll hopefully it'll go well, and we'll get it moving and see if it has some stickability to it.
And I think you're right, because when I talked to the Smack Talk Showdown guys, they had a Kickstarter. They had just started it when I talked to them. But the gist I got from them was they were making that game whether their Kickstarter made it or not.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel the same way.
and
We've
yeah.
got sorry to cut you off.
No,
We've
it's
got
okay.
prototype. We made prototypes, and because I'm an illustrator and a graphic designer by trade, like I can set up all the files and get all the print stuff. Like I'm doing all the artwork myself, so we're really bootstrapping it.
Yeah.
But the prototype we have that we play on with our friends and stuff, it looks pretty much exactly the way it's going to look once it's printed, with the exception like the box, right? The custom printed professional box that'll come in.
Right.
So yes, I feel the same way. So I'll keep playing it. Like me and my kids play it, and my wife plays. We get a neighborhood party and some.
Sounds like so much fun.
It's cool. It's fun. I've never really been huge into card games, which I probably should admit because we're getting into that business. But
You
I've done it
just
a little
haven't
bit,
found the
right?
game. You haven't found the game you liked yet.
There you go. I think that's it. I've played a couple games with the kids and stuff, so I'm more prone to family style games because I'm a family man and I think it's fun. So this is a family. It certainly is a family type game, but it also could be played with just a bunch of guys. You know,
Oh,
something silly.
this I could definitely play this game with a bunch of guys. Sit
And
around.
I'll send you a copy. You tell me
Yeah,
if you like it or not.
you
Your girls can play
you
it.
send me a copy. I'll play it live on the show.
Perfect.
I don't know how that would work, but I'd find a way for it to work.
Yeah, you
But
can't play by yourself, but yeah,
it'd work. I'll just face my wife in a steel cage
there you
match.
go. You
That's what
beat
you
each
need.
other up.
You need like now you need cards for like, well, this card I'm playing the steel cage card, and
Mhm.
that's gonna eliminate your quickness, speed.
Well, so that'll be like we've got a number of expansion packs that we're planning on launching it. Just in addition to the legacy game, and that'll be one of them is like a steel cage where
Yeah.
because currently we have three modes. You have just a one versus one, and then you have a tag team mode, and then we have a battle royale mode. So battle royale obviously it's just everyone against everybody, and you can align with people or you go your own. But tag team's fun too because it kind of gets good for couples, right? You get together and play. But yeah, so new modes have come out as we release expansion packs that can cage match, and I
But
think it'd be fun to build a community and get some ideas
and that's what I
from
was
all
just gonna
these
say.
awesome wrestlers.
I was gonna say I think that the Kickstarter also does that as well. Kickstarter helps you build that community too. You
Right.
know, one wrestling fan spreads the word. Like I'll spread the word to another fan, to another fan. You know, and spreads like wildfire. I mean, I at
Right.
least what I have seen through the Kickstarter, and the only time I've ever dealt with Kickstarter was for uh one, two wrestling card games. You guys, so that makes three wrestling card games.
Mhm.
Um, Wrestle Arcade, they're gonna be putting out a book, 32-bit book. It's a book of the greatest wrestling moments, in 32-bit images. Uh,
Oh, that's cool.
if you see they are on Instagram. Anyways, they do a lot of 32-bit like little videos.
Mhm.
They've been on Being the Elite, and they have all this stuff. But they're going to be doing a book, and I just talked to them recently about their Kickstarter. So the only uh, involvement that I've ever had with Kickstarter is with wrestling stuff, and I've seen it spread like wildfire.
Right.
Um, the three card games, the book, Headlock Comics did all their stuff through Kickstarter. Uh, so I think it is a way to build basically what I'm trying to say.
I hope so. I'm excited about it. I think it's. I'm pretty hopeful about the whole thing. I've never done a Kickstarter before, so we'll see. I could be.
Yeah, neither. I just talked to the Wrestle Arcade guys, and they were looking for feedback on their Kickstarter page. They haven't launched it yet, but he gave me a quick look at what it was and said, "Tell me what you think. Uh, is it getting across what we want? Is it telling you what we're actually offering?" Um, so those are the things to think about. I guess is what I'm trying to tell you. Does our
Yeah.
Kickstarter page uh, reflect what we're offering as a product, and then are we offering the correct good deals for people that donate and all that type of
Right.
stuff?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'll send it over to you as well. You can give me your
yeah,
feedback.
yeah. I mean, I'll just tell you what I think and take it or leave it.
Yeah.
The other thing I was gonna ask: do you guys have, and this is far ahead in the future as well, plans to attend, uh, like a PAX East or a board game? They have all those conferences where the
Yeah.
indie board games go out and they put up their little kiosk, basically, what it is, and
Yeah.
do their stuff. Do you guys have plans for that in the future?
I mean, not hard in or scheduled only because I think a lot of it would be based on how our Kickstarter does.
Right,
But
right.
I would love to go. I mean, set up a wrestling ring in there and just encourage people to get in there and fight.
Oh, there
That
you
sounds
go.
like a
Little
that sounds
miniature
like a
wrestling ring.
there you
Two
go.
chairs inside it.
I want to get some of my guys, some of the wrestlers we created to be like, make them into like wrestling buddies. You remember those
Oh
from
yeah, yeah, I do.
make a bunch of and just encourage them to just jump in there with one of the guys, and if you beat them, then we'll hook you up with the free game or something like that.
If you beat them, that'd be
If you
great.
beat, yeah, if you can do it, yeah,
Can you put over the wrestling buddy? Well, I can do that.
yeah, yeah.
No, but the game looks great, man. It's it definitely looks it looks exactly how you described it to me. A family, fun game to play, and it's family friendly, but it could not be on it.
Right. Yep. You can go and for some of the game testing we've done, it's turned pretty fast from friendly
No,
to not friendly. No, it's fun. It's competitive, but it's not vicious. But I guess depends on who you're playing with, right?
yeah, that's right. I mean, I do have a steel chair there.
Yeah.
Chair?
If you're sitting, yeah. So just be careful. Yeah, like make sure your setting is safe.
Well, anyways, normally I always tell my guests I never keep them over an hour. I am going to. That's the funny thing. I pulled you on. I was going to ask you if you wanted me to open my pro wrestling crate box before our interview or after. But I
heard you say that. I was watching you on Twitch, waiting because I didn't know you called.
I never asked. So I guess I'll do it after. Anyways, you did a great job tonight. Sorry we didn't have the hookup at the beginning. That's fine. I definitely want you on again as your Kickstarter gets kickstarted.
Yeah,
and down the
for
line, because I do like to support the things I like. So I definitely want you on again and see if we can get some people to participate and donate to that Kickstarter. And I know I did it with the Smack Talk guys, and it was a lot of fun that night. But what I like to do at the end of my interview shows is leave this little couple minutes for you. Ring or the floor is yours. You can say whatever you want about anything you want. But time is now. Go ahead.
Okay. Well,
no
thank
pressure.
You. Well, I don't. That's. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I think the wrestling community has such a great community. There's a good mix, of course, of the critics and just the fans, and that's part of, I guess, being a fan of something. But it's a fun world to be in. I have a really great passion for what we're doing, and it kind of aligns all my hobbies and my likes all in one place. If I can I ask any of my brothers, because growing up, we watched wrestling. We'd make wrestling videos out in the backyard, in the trampoline. We did all sorts of stuff. But for me to fast forward back when I was 8 years old, and to now where I'm 41, and be like, wow, like Adam's making a wrestling game where he's drawing pictures of wrestlers. Like that doesn't sound too far off of what we thought he'd be doing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So no, I'm excited. I'm grateful for your support and your help, and for getting me on and chatting with you. It's nice to chat with you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll definitely have you on again.
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Adam. Well, tell Drew there to keep up the hard work.
Okay.
You go watch WrestleMania 4, which is one of my favorite WrestleManias.
Yep, that's
personally.
my close second. Yeah.
And I'll talk to you soon. So thanks for coming in.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Later.
See ya.
All right, let's go to full screen. All right, so that wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. He was very well spoken. You could hear the passion in his in his voice for his craft, for what he wants to put out for Kickstarter, for the wrestling card game Rampage Rumble. I don't think I hit any of the links tonight. There it is. Yeah, there's their Instagram. There's their website. Sign up for any newsletters or alerts or any of that fun stuff. Hopefully they'll get on Twitter. Then I can show them a lot of love. Yeah, everyone knows how much I love Twitter. Where is it? Teddy King. We'll listen to a little bit of Best in the World. We'll open this up. What time is it? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna open this up because I've been saying I'm gonna for like 2 days. I haven't yet. Let's do it. I've never I've never actually opened anything on stream before, but I don't have anything cool. I don't have any cool faces to make. But this box was it Kings of Wrestling? That's what this was. Kings of Wrestling was the thing. Of course I can't open it. Oh, here we go. Don't worry, I got it. Okay, well, we'll take this. That tells us exactly what I got. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here first. Where's my camera? This is a Brody King sticker, Ring of Honor, Villain Enterprise. I think the sticker might be before Villain Enterprise. Brody King, one half of the NWA Tag Team Champions. We'll put this on the fridge over here. What else we got? Oh yeah, look at this. Can you see it? Where is it? There's a glare. Yeah, look at that. King Haku. That is great stuff. I'll put that. Put that out right here on the backpack. Not this. Put that on our other backpack there. With all our other wrestling. If I can open it. There we go. King Haku. Perfect. Look at that. King Haku. We'll put Haku right next to Tito Santana. Perfect. There's King Haku. Let's just change this.
everybody, this is Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret, and the standing streamer. He's put me over, so now I'm putting him over with putting you over.